Yo, what's good? What's good? So this year, I'm looking through the items. I have a lot of items that I concluded this year. A lot of different systems that I've tested, things that I've kind of was into. And I want to share that a lot of them had to do with intra bar orders and very technical. It's just very technical. And it has to do with slippage, fills, like limit order fills, and just really kind of just too much, bro. And I don't know if that's required to make money in the markets. After looking at someone who runs a professional CTA that only uses 1 minute bar closes, doesn't need tick data, doesn't need like so finely detailed, and you can still make money. I don't think there's really the benefit unless the idea is absolutely necessary that you need to be within 1 minute. Because I was on the 1 second bars, looking at I mean, I'm not looking at the computer's looking at stuff, but on a 1 second basis. And it's very complex. That's all I'm saying. And I haven't found specific edge. A lot of it was even. A lot of it was just, man, you'd think that because it's even, let's say it trending versus sideways. Trending, which is vertical movement, and then sideways, which is obviously sideways going back and forth. I tested those things, and sometimes it's sideways, sometimes it's vertical. But then when it's sideways for so long, on the grand scale of all the numbers, it's generally even, equal. Like the trend score is very equal to each other, and it's out of whack right now. It's completely lateral. The market's going sideways. It's due to move. But I could not find a system that could actually accomplish that mission. When is it due? It's due, but it can be due for so long. It can just drag on. And then I'm looking for signals that say, all right, when it's due and the volume picks up or something like that. And you'd think it makes sense. When I say it, it makes sense. But I could not find the data to match it. We could not find it. So I concluded so many studies in regards to the stop and reverse system. The stop and reverse 1.1, 3.1, 1.1, 1.1. All these are different stop and reverse systems that had to do with my increment lines and trending and going sideways. And it just could not do it. I couldn't do it. It was really complicated because once I did find something, a little bit of edge that I would think would work. The weird thing is, like, you can switch the lines on the chart. You'd have to know how I do it, but basically the lines on the chart change. Instead of starting the lines at 1700 open, I wait an hour to 1800. It creates the lines on the chart for me and starts doing it. And then it changes the back test entirely. It's like not even consistent. So I'm just taken aback from it because it's just not clear. And then I'm like, well, and plus I was only working with 6 months of tick data. So I need to, if you want years and years, decades of data, you can go to the 1 minute closes. You use 1 minute bar close and you can do any types of things you want, a huge back test. So, and that's what the pros do. That's what a lot of pros do. Kevin Davey, huge pro in the algo space. David Bean, he Capstone Trading. That's the person I look up to. And it's like they use 1 minute bar closes only. I got an email from David Bean saying that explicitly he only does 1 minute bar closes. So I'm kind of skipping away from it. So I concluded so many of my studies. We only have a few left to run through, and a lot of them are just ideas like slow trends versus fast trends. I don't even know how I'm going to create that study. But like, there's just so many things that I've closed up. We're evolving. We're trying to mature through this. So yeah, Basically, I'm looking for simplicity. I'm looking for, it doesn't have to be complicated. So basically simplicity, yes. I'm looking for things to be able to be back tested. I'm looking for 1 minute bar closes. So, that's what I'm looking for. And specifically what that actually means, I like the trend following idea. You can see the priorities of 3 here. That is definitely something I'm interested in. I've found that volume matters in these breakout moves, that it runs away from the average price and it runs away with some venom to it. It does seem to persist that way. It's more profitable to go in that same direction that it pushed. I am seeing that across various symbols. I'm seeing the trend following system actually work. NASDAQ, ES, YM, crude oil, gold, silver especially. Copper, I think it was sideways. The agricultures didn't work at all. Currencies, it worked pretty well. Bonds, it worked well. So it's like, it's actually decent across the board. It's not even, I like that. I want a system that's robust enough to work in various markets, because I know through back testing, I can make any chart go up. I can make a back test that's straight and to the right. And people, well, that's going to continue. No, it's not, dude. It doesn't always continue. That's why I want to see it work on various markets. Various markets that don't even talk to each other. Crude oil doesn't talk with gold. They're not friends. Silver, who cares about soybean oil? If it works on all the markets at the same time and they're uncorrelated, you've got something going, bro. And that's what we want. So a trend following system, which this is, just look at it. I mean, it's just a moving average. It runs away from the moving average. You go in that direction, trail your stop. That's a trend following system. That's what I'm doing. And I'm found that there's a filter you can use as volume that works pretty well on it. So I'm excited about that one. There's also, that's what I'm saying. I'm about to close up stop reverse 6.2 because, bro, I get it. Sideways is good, but when I change the lines on my sideways rectangle, it changes the entire backtest. It no longer works. I showed you that in the last video. I think it was like 23 grand I make. And then I change, let's start just expand a file, expand the freaking lines at 1800, or 5 minutes later, 1705 instead of 1701. And the lines, specific lines on the chart change, and it changes the backtest when the underlying data did not change. So I'd rather have something smarter that, it creates a high and a low, and then it starts rectangular movement. Then you put the lines on the chart which match the chart. So regardless of when I start the system, it will adjust to what the market gives us. I want something smarter. So that would be the next version of this. And I think that's more intelligent. So I do want to write that down, actually. But so basically I'm looking at that. And then I was looking at jobs, because I need a freaking job, bro. And I'm looking at trading jobs in Chicago, because I'm somewhat near Chicago. I'm like, dude, that would be fucking awesome if I can get just to be. I'll just staple papers all day for the traders. I'm good with that, bro. I'm just in the mix. I'm around there. Like, I just want to be a part of it. And they're, dude, rejected in 4 hours. My application's rejected in like a day. Just gone, like immediately. So I'm like, all right, fine. It's probably not going to happen. But because they're looking for, I have some Python experience, but they're looking for C++, creating low latency systems. So I looked that up, and Rust is a programming language that uses C++. And I'm like, all right, maybe I can get really good with Rust and just go hard with this for like 6 months, and I bet I could learn it. And then I'm like, why? What's the purpose? To get a job? Okay. you might not even get the job because you're you're competing with Ivy League fuckers that are way smarter than me. Yes, understandably. Like, I don't know how worth it that is, because even if you do create a system in Rust or Python or C++, what difference does it make from TradeStation? TradeStation is just the operating system that I can see the visual, I can see my back test, I can see my average profit per trade. I don't have to code any of this. It's already a tool for me to use, and it's real data. We're using the same data. So I would do the same thing in Python. Why wouldn't I just use TradeStation? I already have an expertise in TradeStation. So I might delete this as well. Well, that was a cool thought, but what the hell is the purpose, bro? Honestly, use your skills already. You already have skills. So I don't really know what to do with my skills, is what I'm saying yet. Other than just, let's create a system that's one fucking hell of a system, which I haven't yet. I was really excited about my sideways system until I started back testing different hours, until I started messing with it. And it's just, well, it's just not adjustable, not robust. So anyways, there's a lot that goes into that one. So basically, I have a few more things that I want to look at. FOMC, like big announcements, huge volume, just huge rocks that fall into the water that you can see the big boof, you know. Obviously the market has that. It's volume, volatility events that happen. You can look at those, isolate those, and connect the dots and see if we can see a pattern. I haven't done that. There's an opening range breakout from a YouTube video my dad was looking at. He says will work. I say absolutely will not work. So I want to test that. And then Sunday night's never return system. I like a never return breakout. I'm looking at ways. A never return means you buy or sell and you literally don't touch it. Just don't touch it. Just don't freaking touch it. And it might go. It might just run days and days and weeks and run away from you. Don't trail your stop. Literally don't mess with it, because that's, you know, once in a while, back in the day, I put trades on the simulator and then I lose interest. I lose interest of my trades in my simulator. And then I check back like a couple weeks later or something, like, oh my gosh, I still have a trade on. Oh my gosh, it's so red. It's like way underneath. They're like way too much money lost. It's like, oh, glad it's in the simulator. But that's my point. The never return system, you are allowed that, and you are on the other side of that, right? Because you don't mess with it. And that's a patient system to not take your profits quickly, you know? So I like that idea. And then last but not least, the other idea I had was really harshly examine all of my failures in trading as a day trader, because I am epitome day trader failure. In fact, a lot of people are day trading failures, but I'm not saying that to make me feel better. I'm just saying that it happens, bro. All right. You try day trading. Okay. That's all I would say. You tried it. Now, what was I doing during those times? And I want to devise an algorithm that does exactly the opposite of that. I was looking at doing that too. Okay. I did the opposite of my signals halfway through this year, or maybe last year. I don't really know. I had signals. I had holding levels, holding splits, lonely pivots, all these things that mean nothing to anybody but something to me. I have a little dictionary of all the terms and pictures and everything. And I was doing this and I was trading him and I was freaking getting pissed off because it wasn't working. And then I said, fuck it. I keep losing. I'm doing the opposite. So every time I was about to push buy, I said short. Where would I put my target? Right there. Where would I put my stop? Right there. And I started doing the opposite. And I honestly was doing it. And it was all right. And then it got really confusing because a lot of my system was not so systematic. It was intuitive as well, and it started messing with my intuition because I'm going long. Wait, no, I have to go short. It got really confusing, which led to me losing and then losing control over myself, which happens in day trading. If you're going fast and doing things, it's just paper cut after paper cut until you're fed up with the bleeding. You rip everything apart and you bring out a hammer and you try to fucking make money with a hammer and you fucking lose everything. That's what happens, bro. No lie, that's what happens. So I want to create a system that does the opposite of that. I want to create a system that keeps on winning and wins bigger. Just like when I was losing, I risk more. I'm losing, I'm down $250. I'm risking 2 contracts to make it back. If you don't make it back, you're down fucking 750, bro. You're down at a steeper pace. And that's what I want to do with my system, where I would bet bigger when I'm winning. And then I have a stop loss. I'll have a stop loss on the day. Because that's a disciplined trader. Something that I didn't have. I didn't have that discipline. But robots can. So I want to take my expertise of losing and create a system that does that, the opposite of that. And it might be only conceptually correct that I can do this. I'm not actually sure of the system I would actually implement on it. But I like the position sizing. I like the daily loss limit type of thing where I can code that. I like all that to it. So I don't know if it's only conceptually correct that I can do that, meaning that it would work or not. I don't know if it'll work or not. Okay. In concept, it would work, but a lot of things in concept works and does not work. Okay. So I'm not 100% sure if that'll work. So that's what I'm excited about. This year, I'm going to do all of that. I'm going to finish these up. I always have things to think about to test. So I'm not worried about running out of ideas. Yeah. Yep. And that's probably it. Oh man. So yeah, 1 minute bar closes. I'm going to start using 1 minute bar closes and just it's a lot more easy to do that, dude. It's just a lot more easy. And then long-term picture, I want to create a website that has my portfolio of systems or an actual portfolio of money. Once I'm happy enough with a little portfolio of systems, I will market. I would want to try to acquire some type of money, like $50,000 account, whatever, to actually allow them to run. And then I can track my results and have a little freaking, my own little website thing. Starting out as a baby in this business. But that's kind of what I want to do. What else is there? What else is a thug to do? What else is a thug to do? We don't know. There's nothing else we can do. I don't know. Don't know what else to do. So that's about it. Yeah, that's about it. If you have any things to test, let me know. Happy to test shit, bro. Happy to test shit. All right. Have a good year. New year. Peace. Peace and harmony. Bye.